Hi, it's Colleen with Rope and Resellers. I'm here for a weekly sales update of what I sold on eBay and Amazon merch for the week of October 22nd through the 28th, 2018.
Okay, so I sold 16 things, but one is coming back to me this week, so I'm just going to include it in this week's because it was almost immediate that it was a jacket and it didn't fit her. It was too small for her or something. So instead of doing, because it's Q4, instead of doing all of them, all of the things I sold, I'm just going to go ahead and do like my top 10. So here we go, top 10, that sold. The Bachmann Amtrak HO scale cars, these were Amtrak cars. I had a lot of people looking at these for, quite a while for how popular they were. They had little bits and pieces out missing. It also came with this other car thing. Like I've said in previous videos, I bought a big tub of train stuff to figure out what is valuable in trains. I discovered the cars have value and some of the, not the regular track, but some of the switching track, stuff like that, has a little more value. So anyway, it's been a great experiment. I've definitely made my money back already, and this is just icing on the cake. So it sold for $59.99. I collected $69.25. It cost me $9.17 because I divided that whole tub by the amount of lots that I did. $17.63 in shipping, PayPal, and eBay fees for a total profit of $42.45, and it took a month to sell. Here's the little Nirvana backpack. It had Kurt Cobain on one side and then the band on the other. I think it was an aftermarket thing. I don't think it was anything super special, but anyway, I picked it up at the Dollar Day at Goodwill. It sold for $24.99. I collected $28.65. Like I said, I picked it up at Dollar Day, so I spent $7.25 in shipping and fees for a total profit of $20.40, and it took 6 weeks to sell. Here's another train lot. I only have one lot left. So this was a majority of track. I just had to throw it all together. You can see that there's bridges and there's one switching track, and I've sold all the other switching tracks. So it's just kind of a mishmash of different sized track and tunnels and stuff and bridges. No tunnels, but bridges. And it sold for $39.99. I collected $50.64. Spent $9.17, $16.73 in shipping and fees. So my total profit on that was $24.74. And it only took a week. I actually had this up on auctions. I had it at $24.99. Now I remember. I had it at $24.99, ran it on auction, and it didn't sell. So it sold full price, $39.99. Another reason why I'm not a huge fan of auctions. Franco Sarto black leather boots. These things were super cute. I kind of wanted to keep them, but I am not a size 9.5. They were leather, and they sold for $34.99. $47.15 is what I collected. I spent $1 on this, so I used to work with a consignment store and get a big bag of clothes. I no longer do that because I'm trying to get away from clothes, but everything averaged out to about $1. $17.78 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $28.37. And it took 7 months to sell. Obviously, I listed it in the off season. Solomon boots. These, I think my kids used, and they were at a point in their life where they weren't skiing a whole lot. My family goes in and out of favor of skiing. So anyway, no one can wear these boots anymore. And I sold them for $49.99. Collected $71.63. I didn't spend anything on these because my kids got use. $30.57 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $41.06. Took 8 months to sell. I will say I've sold a lot of boots over the years, and I have stopped selling adult ski boots just because they're so specialized. And if someone's worn them for a little while, they're a little worn on the inside and they can feel funky when you ski. So I know people like to save money, but almost always I've had liners and boots come back to me. But the kids' ones are good because, sort of that mid-range. If the family's just going to go ski for a week, they'd rather spend $50 instead of renting for the week, which would cost them probably more than that to rent. And kids' feet, kids aren't going to complain unless it hurts. So for the most part, you can just put your kids' shoot, foot in there, stick a couple extra socks on if they're too big. It's kind of what we've been doing. And they're good to go. So I would stay away from adult boots, but kid boots are pretty good. If they're a high-end brand like this and they have the power strap, so that's this strap right here, that means that they're a higher-end kid boot. If they're just buckles, I'd probably stay away from them. There's your 10-second ski instructor lesson. This was an Argentine cavalry sword. It had the scabbard, which is this cover. The hilt was rusted and the scabbard was rusted, but the blade was fine. This came out of my dad's estate. So I have this is quite a story. My dad decided that he was going to collect swords, and the money that, of course, that I would sell on eBay, because I sell my sister does not sell on eBay, that I collected for it would go to the grandkids. Well, he bought these swords for anywhere from, $35 up to maybe $100, $150. So now it's my job, of course, to sell them off. He has been gone for, I don't know, 5 years. I'm sure I've had these for at least 5 years. And now I'm just getting to the point where I'm starting to sell them off. But I've sold a few already. They always bring fairly decent money. I don't know why I'm not motivated. I think because when I go to ship it, it's really not that fun. So anyway, this sold for $199. I think my dad wrote down how much he paid for everything, and I think he paid like $75 for this originally. So that was pretty good return. But it didn't cost me anything. It just became part of the estate. $199.99, $240.98. So I shipped it priority mail. I had FedEx as an option, and they didn't choose it, which was great because those triangle boxes are pretty good. $69.10 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $171.88. It took only 5 hours to sell. I always get a little nervous because I really don't know anything about swords, nor do I have a desire to learn about swords. So when things sell so fast, I wonder if I let it go too quick or I should have put it up for auction. But people were offering me $150. I got an offer for $150, $160, $175 from 3 different people, like within 15 minutes. It was the most bizarre thing. I just kept getting offer. And then finally I just got a cha-ching and it sold. So swords, if you can get them cheap, I guess, or, can be a good thing for a little bit of profit. Tootsie car lot. They were all different cars. I just bought a box of them at a estate sale, and they sold for $24.99. I collected $29.99. Spent $250 on all of these, $7.91 shipping and fees for a total profit of $18.68, and it took 2 weeks to sell. This should be, so this is my big win of the week, besides the sword, but this was actually a little bit better. So this is an Evel Knievel stunt cycle, which you look online and there's quite a few of them. They go anywhere from, I don't know, $40, quite frankly, to obviously, if it's brand new in box, it can go for a lot of money. I'm talking $450. So that's pretty hard to find. And this one, let me see if I can find the picture of the motorcycle itself, was pretty banged up. It had, so I joked in the description that he had crashed his bike too many times. And so it didn't have the foot pedals. The thing it did have, if you look at these wheels and you look at the majority of them online, they're clear wheels. So I guess they ran out of production or something happened when they made these bikes, and only one part of 1 year were these wheels made white. And that is why this was worth so much more. Plus it had a box. So a box is always good. There are a fair number selling with a box. But Evel himself was in fairly decent shape. He wasn't too banged up, and he had his helmet. So that's also another thing to look for when you're looking at Evel Knievel stuff. It really obviously does not matter quite so much that his bike was banged up. I think I would have gotten like $50 more if the bike were more complete. But I kind of hung out for a while. I could see that I had quite a few watchers, and it finally sold. So $24.99. $224.99 is what it's sold for. I collected $241.20. I spent $15 at an estate sale, which is pretty high for me, but I like I said, I could see the value in it. $51.34 in shipping and fees for a total profit of $174.86. It took 10 days to sell. So I held out. Somebody was making me an offer of like 150 and we were going back and forth. Or he offered me 125, but I could see he bought a lot of those, so I couldn't figure out why he kept buying Evel Knievel stunt cycles. And I just kept throwing it back and forth, and finally I sent him a 185 offer, and I think he declined, and then moments later, literally moments later, it sold for full price. Sure-On horn rim 12 karat gold filled eyeglasses. So this style is really popular. These went to, did these go to New York? New York or Oregon, some hipster place on the west or east coast. I can't remember where now. And these would have been worth quite a bit more, except for the arms on them. The plastic, they were kind of old. They were broken off. So both of them, you would have to replace the arms on them. But it sold $14.99. I think it probably would have been worth like another $20 if the arms had been good. $17.65 is what I collected. I spent $3 on this at an estate sale. I thought they'd be worth more, but I didn't see the chewed off arms. $5.08 in shipping and fees for a total profit of $9.57, but they only took a week to sell. So those are pretty easy, and they're easy to ship. And this one made me just happy because there's a nurse somewhere who's going to be a Wonder Woman, and she emailed me. I didn't have best offer on it. She said, would you take anything lower? So I sent her an offer of $18 and she accepted. So this sold for $18. I collected $21.05. Cost me 75 cents at a thrift store. $5.89 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $14.41. It took 7 months to sell, and I was pretty happy because I don't do well with scrubs. I know some of you guys do, but I am not one of them. Okay, so if you look at the top, looking at the numbers, I just want to point this out. This is in red because anytime I get a return, I always put it in red in my spreadsheet. So I deducted the original amount. I don't know. I haven't collected it yet. It should come in the mail today or tomorrow. And I don't know exactly. So $286, I don't think I made any money on it. But the shipping was cheaper than what she paid. And I gave her a deal on it. Doesn't that always happen? You give them a deal and then they freaking return it. Whatever. I hate clothing. I'm sorry to people who sell clothes. I just couldn't deal with the amount of returns you get. It's unbelievable, the attitude of people. I get mad at my daughter because she returns stuff. She'll just order something and then think nothing and just immediately return it. I can't imagine what Amazon gets in returns. They must get millions of returns every day from clothing items. Anyway, so this total includes this jacket, but you'll see later on that my cost of goods is quite a bit higher. So like I said, I only showed the top 10. $815.36 is what everything sold for. $966.37 is what I collected. $107.84 in cost of goods, but that is this jacket coming back for the most part, and Evel Knievel, but considering the profit margin on that, I'm not going to complain. And then the trains were a little expensive, but I still made good money on them, so even then. So cost of shipping and fees were $265 for a total profit, yay, $592.57 for the week. Amazon merch is also doing well for me. 3 pop sockets, 20 shirts were sold, 1 canceled, and 1 return for a total royalty of $97.17. Now I'll have to pay taxes on that. That does not have taxes taken. Well, I mean, on anything I do, I guess it's all got taxes, but there's no other. This is what you get. They will deposit this into your account. $689.74 for the total e-commerce adventure week.
So it's obviously Q4 because I do not normally make this much money. And that brings me to my tip for the week is that I now plan for June. During this quarter, I know I make 2 to 3 times what I will make in June. So what I try to do is set aside some money. I have an index fund and I just pump money into that so that when I need money in June to pay the bills, I have enough to cover, because I know I'm going to be making $200 a week instead of $500 to $600 a week. And so I really push hard to sell a lot this quarter because this is when you make a majority of your money. And I put a lot of that aside as much as I possibly can so that I'll be prepared in the off season. And also if you pay taxes quarterly like you're supposed to, you know you're going to have a bill 4 times a year every 3 months. So it's good to kind of pay those quarterly taxes if you file as a business. So anyway, that's my tip for you, is to be grateful for all that you're selling now, but to be smart and either have a high interest savings account. You can get those online, or you can set up some sort of index fund through any of the online brokerages. I'm not going to tell you who to invest with, but make sure your fees are low. And then you can be making money while you wait to have to need that money. So with that, I hope you guys are making lots of sales this fourth quarter. I've heard the ups and downs of eBay. Some people have been selling a lot and some people are kind of slow. So I think it does depend on how much you are listing. Almost forgot to mention that my trusty planner, I listed 13 things last week. I've been flat on my back for the last 4 days. This is the first day I've sort of been up and walking around because I have some sort of back spasm thing. Who knows? I did yoga and a long time ago, a couple weeks ago, and it affected me even now. So I keep having back spasms in different places, and I'll be fine for a week, and then I'll do something stupid, or it'll just bing, and all of a sudden my back hurts. So anyway, that's my issue, and not trying to make excuses, but I only listed 13 things last week, and I do try to shoot for 25, so that's about half of what I normally would do. Totals amount listed 645.87. So not that much listed and not that much dollar value. I did go to an estate sale this weekend, so I'm hoping for some good stuff. I think if you put good stuff on and you start making sales, that helps too. Kind of get the pump primed, so to speak, on eBay. But yeah, go out and find good things to sell, and I hope you have a good week. Thanks for watching.